Welcome to this week's Sunday meal prep video. I am glad that you are joining me today for this meal prep, and just wanted to introduce myself for anyone that is new here. My name is Jennifer. I am 45 years old. I will be 46 on New Year's Day, so just a couple more days left to be 45. And I've been doing the WW Blue plan since September of 2019 and have lost a total of 64 pounds. So what we typically do is, and when I say we, I mean my husband and I, we meal prep every Sunday, and we prep all of our dinners for the week. And I've also started prepping all of my breakfast, which normally I like to have fresh scrambled eggs and bacon in the mornings for breakfast, but just to help save on time, I have been prepping that as well. And then I typically prep some chocolate protein cookies for my dessert. That's just one of my staples that has come into play at such low in points. So anyway, for today's menu, I am going to do a new recipe out of my Skinnytaste cookbook, and it is a Butternut Squash Chili. It is, I think, a vegetarian recipe, which if you hear a lot of racket today, my daughter and her family are moving in for a little while, so we're just going to ignore them and pretend like that's not going on. But they are plant-based. They were vegan. I'm not sure if they are anymore. I don't really know. But anyway, I am going to make that soup so that they can have part of a meal prep this week and enjoy that. And along with that, I will be making my corn muffins. And then for my other meal, I'm going to do Kung Pao Chicken with the cauliflower fried rice and the stir-fry vegetables. So that's going to be my second meal for the day. And then we will put it all together. I will go ahead and prep my fruit, which if you can see behind me, my husband has already cut up my pineapple and cantaloupe and stuff. I'm kind of getting a late start today because he is helping them move, so he cut that up earlier for me. It's just hard for me to cut up a full cantaloupe and especially a pineapple and stuff, so he does that prep work for me, and he's already diced my chicken for the Kung Pao Chicken once I get ready to make it. But anyway, that is a long enough intro. If you are new here, go ahead and click that subscribe button down below and click that notification bell so that you don't miss any time that I upload. I typically upload 3 times per week, on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and on Sundays, and sometimes there will be an extra video thrown in there, just depending on what is going on. But without further ado, let's prep some fruit. Okay guys, I know that most of y'all that watch me all the time know this, but I love to wash my produce in white distilled vinegar, and the only one that I have to wash today is just some blueberries. So I'm going to go ahead and get those to soaking because I will let those soak for 5 to 10 minutes. I have one of my 4-point pizzas in the oven, and I'm going to let those soak while I eat, and then we will throw the fruit together and get the crock pot meal going. I don't really remember how long that has to cook, but it doesn't have any meat in it. It's literally just vegetables. So that shouldn't have to cook but for like 4 or 5 hours. So I'm going to try to go ahead and get the crock pot down. I'll probably actually throw that together before we do the fruit bowls, and then that way it's going. So anyway, I'm going to put these in and then we will be back. So I'm just going to take my blueberries, dump it in, and put my vinegar in. I'm just going to use what's left of this bottle. I do have another one that my daughter picked up for me last night, but that will finish that off. That will be enough to wash these few blueberries. And I will just rinse them really good 2 or 3 times, and it does not taste like vinegar. Okay guys, I am ready to make the vegetarian butternut chili. This is out of my new Skinnytaste cookbook, the One and Done. And these are the ingredients you need. It calls for a 14.5 ounce can of petite diced tomatoes, but I'm going to go ahead and use this 28 ounce can because I'm going to try to make more servings in the recipe. It calls for 1.5 cups of canned tomato sauce. I'm just going to use both cans of the Publix tomato sauce, which those are 0 points on the WW plan. All All tomato sauces are not 0 points. Be sure that you scan it in your app to double check. It calls for 4 cloves of garlic. I'm just going to use this minced garlic. I have one jar that's almost empty. I'm sure I'll finish that off. I'll probably just use 4 teaspoons out of that since it calls for 4 cloves. And then it calls for 2 tablespoons of chopped chipotle peppers and adobo sauce or paste. So this is what I picked up. I'll probably do 3 tablespoons since I'm kind of up in the recipe. So we will see. I don't think I'll use the whole can, but that's what I got. And then it calls for a teaspoon of the ancho chili powder, which I have some of that here, ground cumin, and then salt and pepper, of course. And then it calls for 4 cups of cubed fresh or frozen butternut squash. So I picked up 2 bags of this butternut squash at Publix, but it almost didn't seem like enough. So my daughter did pick me up one more little bag at Kroger because she ran to Kroger last night. I think that will be plenty. And then 1.5 cups of canned black beans, rinsed and drained, which I'm just going to use 2 cans, rinse and drain those. Scallions, I'm leaving those out. A tablespoon of fresh lime juice. So I do have 1 lime here. I will just get the juice from that. And then you also need some vegetable broth. And so I have this. I think it only calls for 1 cup, but I will probably use at least 2 cups. We'll just see how it is after it cooks. Anyway, it goes in the slow cooker, and it's going to cook on low for 6 to 8 hours until the butternut squash is tender. And I'm going to put it on high, of course, so that it will probably try to cook in 4 to 6 hours. But I will set you up, and we will get the stuff dumped in there and get it going. Okay guys, let's get this butternut squash chili going here. I'm going to just spray the inside of my crock pot, and the book says to combine the tomatoes and the tomato sauce. So we are just going to go ahead and put this whole can of petite diced tomatoes in there. And this is the one with the basil, garlic, and oregano in it. I figured that it wouldn't hurt anything to have a little extra flavor. We're going to go in with the 2 cans of tomato sauce. So it calls for 1 cup of vegetable broth. I think I'm just going to go ahead and do 2 cups of vegetable broth. And then we can add some more later if we need to. So there's 1 cup and 2 cups. And then we're going to do 4 teaspoons of minced garlic. And we're going to go in with 1. I already kind of put a little bit of that other one in. 2, 3, and then we'll just do another little half. That other jar didn't even have a full teaspoon in it. So there's our garlic. And then it calls for a couple of tablespoons of these peppers. And I'm going to do 3 tablespoons, I think. I don't really know what these taste like. So we're just going to dump some in there, actually.
That's good.
I'm just going to go for it. They do look good.
They smell good.
Let me smell them.
Let me eat one.
You want to try one? So Jaylee's standing over here. She's going to be brave and see what it tastes like. What's it taste like?
It tastes like chipotle peppers and a spicy tomato sauce. It's pretty good.
Tastes like what it is.
Exactly what the ingredients were.
And then we're going to go in with the ancho chili powder, the ground cumin, and some salt and pepper. Let's see here. It calls for a teaspoon of this. Y'all know I'm not going to measure that. I'm just going to eyeball it. We'll just use this. It's kind of a, there we go. And that was the ancho chili powder, if you didn't see that. And we're going to go in with our ground cumin. And then just salt and pepper to your taste. And then we're going to stir this up, and then we will add in the black beans and the corn and the butternut squash. And it will be ready to cook for the rest of the day. Which I'm getting a late start today. It's already 20 till 2. So that's stirred good, and then we're going to add the butternut squash. I'm going to add all 3 bags of this butternut squash. I've never cooked with the frozen butternut squash before. I've only used the fresh, so if this turns out good, then it'll be much more convenient. Which it's convenient to use the fresh if you've got it already cut up, but I hate having to actually peel and cut one. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and add in the 2 cans of black beans, which I have already drained and rinsed those. And then I'm going to add in the bag of corn. This is a lot of soup, y'all, so hopefully we get at least 10 good servings out of this. So it said to cook it on low for 6 to 8 hours, but since I'm getting a late start, we are putting her on high. And that's it. I'm just going to stir it up good, and we will check on it later. We're going to throw together the fruit bowls, and then I'm going to get started on the Kung Pao chicken. I just realized I forgot the lime juice. Not sure it would make that much of a difference, but it calls for a tablespoon of lime juice, so we will just squeeze half of the lime in there. And that should be good. Now we're ready to put the lid on and let her cook. Okay guys, I am ready to put my fruit bowls together finally. I have my blueberries here that I washed and the cantaloupe and pineapple that Charlie chopped up for me. So we will just speed through this real quick. These have been sitting out for a while, so I need to get them in the fridge.
My heart is beating to your drum, and I'm blinded by the sunshine in your eyes. Not thinking twice, am I this dumb? Although I know you're all I want. How could I crave something so bad? My sweaty palms reveal a warning I should hear, but I don't care, you drive me mad. I'll ignore the truth and run to you. So we could drive away. You'll hear me say everything is gonna be okay. I don't need nobody else. Obsessed with you, try to stop me, but I'm under your spell.
And then the last thing I need to do is dice my peppers up. They are diced for me already today because Charlie had to help the girls move.
Can't help myself. You know too well I need you close. Can't help myself. Try to stop.
I do like to use the paper towels to absorb any moisture from the peppers. Okay guys, and here are the completed fruit bowls and the diced up peppers. Looking delicious as usual. I only made 6 this week instead of 7. I actually still have 1 fruit bowl left from last week, so I will take that to work with me tomorrow to eat, and then I will have 6 for the next 6 days. But anyway, got this done. Now we are going to jump in and start on the Kung Pao chicken. Okay guys, I'm going to start on the Kung Pao chicken. You need at least 3 or 4 diced chicken breasts, however much you want. If you're on the green plan, you probably want to measure it out and count it, but blue and purple, it is 0 points. I'm going to use 14 tablespoons of the Kung Pao sauce, however much chili powder and cumin that you want, and salt and pepper, and that's all there is to the Kung Pao chicken. And then I also have some stir-fry vegetables that I'm going to use, which I picked these up at Sam's Club. What I'm going to do is steam these because they are microwavable. I'm going to steam them in the microwave, and then I'm going to put them in this large skillet and just kind of let them saute and put some salt and pepper and probably some cumin and chili powder on them, and then a little bit of that Kung Pao sauce as well. Out of that 14 tablespoons, I'll save a little bit of it, and then I will mix that together with the chicken, and it makes a really good stir-fry, and then we will work on the cauliflower fried rice. Okay guys, I'm ready to start on the chicken. I'm going to salt and pepper on this side before I put it in the skillet, of course, and then I will salt and pepper again. If you don't like to use this much salt and pepper, just do it to your liking, but I do find that it helps bring in a lot of additional flavor. I guess it'd help if I turn my stove on. I always forget that part. And this will cook pretty quick once the skillet gets heated up. I'm going to let it cook a little bit, and then I'll add in the chili powder and the cumin. I'm going to go ahead and measure out my 14 tablespoons of Kung Pao sauce. Okay, to measure out the 14 tablespoons, 2 tablespoons is 35 grams, so I'm going to take 35 times 7. That's going to give me 14 tablespoons, and that comes to 245, so that's how many grams I'm going to measure out. So I'm going to put my little measuring cup on there and tear it out. Sorry, you can hear that chicken, it's starting to cook already. And then I'm just going to pour out 245 grams worth. And which is right at a cup full. But I still measure it this way. There we go, 244, close enough. I'm going to go ahead and put in some chili powder and some cumin, and I might do a little bit more later. Okay guys, while the chicken is cooking, we are going to go ahead and get the cauliflower fried rice going. I'm going to use 3 bags of the Riced Veggies Cauliflower Medley. This is my preferred one. I just like the ones with the little peas and carrots in it. They're really so small you don't even notice that they're in there. You will need an egg. You're going to need a tablespoon or a teaspoon of the minced garlic. 4 tablespoons of soy sauce, and then a packet of fried rice seasoning mix. I've never used this one. I typically use the Sunbird, but Publix was out of it, and I had this one left from a previous purchase, so I'm hoping that it tastes as good as the other one does. So basically we will just spray our pan, put the cauliflower in there, kind of let that cook until it's tender, and then we will start adding in the rest of the stuff. Okay, I don't think that was filming, but I put the 3 bags of the riced cauliflower in here, and that's it. And then I'm going to just put the lid on and let that simmer until it is softened up. So we will come back to that whenever it is time to add the rest of the ingredients. And the chicken is looking pretty good. In fact, I'm going to turn the heat down on it. I'm almost ready to add the Kung Pao seasoning to it, but I want to wait until I get my stir-fry vegetables going. So I'm just going to turn this down a minute and check on my veggies. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add most of the Kung Pao sauce in here with the chicken. I'm going to reserve some for the vegetables. And then I'm just going to let this sit here and simmer for a little while and work on the stir-fry veggies. Okay guys, I don't know what my problem is filming today, but I keep forgetting to hit record. I had to swap out my battery, and then I guess I thought that I hit record and I did not. So what I've done in here is add 4 tablespoons of light soy sauce, and then I added 1 teaspoon of the minced garlic, and the packet of the fried rice seasoning mix, which I've never tried this one before. I normally use the Sunbird, but they didn't have it at Publix, and so I already had picked one of those up at Walmart one time. It's just been sitting in the cabinet. So anyway, what I'm going to do is just let those seasonings just kind of simmer in the cauliflower for about 5 minutes or so, and then we're going to come back and scramble an egg and put in there, and I'll show you how to do that. And it tastes just like fried rice from, you know, the Japanese restaurant or whatever. It's delicious, and you cannot tell that it's cauliflower. Okay, so the stir-fry vegetables I think are pretty much done. I added in the rest of that Kung Pao sauce in here, and I just steamed these in the microwave, put them in the pan for a little while. I added some salt and pepper, chili powder, cumin, just like I did on the chicken. And then I'm going to take most of this and put it in with our chicken, and then reserve the rest for Jaylee and Terry because they don't eat meat, and I will make them a couple of plates. They've never tried this. I don't know if they like it or not, so we'll see how many servings I end up with for them. This is heavy. I'm not sure I can do it with one hand. So I'm going to cut the heat off on this. That's what will be plated up for them. And then I think we are ready to go ahead and do the egg and the cauliflower. So what you want to do is push it all over to kind of one side let's see, I'll push it over to this side because I think you can see better if I do the egg over there. And push it all to the side, and then I've already cracked my egg in a little bowl just because I prefer to do it that way. And I'm going to put it in there and just let it start to cook, and then just literally scramble it like you would any other egg, and then we will mix it all together with the cauliflower. And then once your egg is kind of scrambled, you're just going to mix it in with the rest of the fried rice and just let it simmer for a few more minutes, and it will be done and ready to plate up. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and try to plate up Jaylee and Terry's, just to get all of the vegetables out of the way first. I think, well, I'll keep theirs separate. I'll just put their vegetables in one tray and then their fried rice in the other, in case they don't want to mix it, or in case they don't want to eat one. I never know with them. Alright, that gets their Asian meal, and then the other meal that I'm making is vegetarian, so they will eat it. And then for Charlie and I, we are just going to layer everything in one side. I'm going to put down the fried rice and then just the mixture of chicken and veggies right on top. We will use the other little side to hold our spring rolls and our dumplings that we like to eat with this meal. Okay guys, here is the Kung Pao Chicken with the cauliflower fried rice. It's on the bottom. The chicken and vegetables are just mixed up together. This is Charlie and mine for 6 nights. And then I made Jaylee and Terry just 2 servings each so they could try it out just to see if they like it. And of course theirs does not have any chicken in it. But these look delicious, and we are ready to move on and make the corn muffins to go along with the butternut chili that we are making. Okay guys, I am ready to work on the corn muffins to go along with the butternut squash chili that we are making. So I've modified my recipe from what I normally do for my husband and I so that I can come up with 20 muffins. That will be 12 to go along to where my husband and I will each get 2 for our 6 nights that we have this meal, and then for Jaylee and Terry, I'm going to make them 2 servings each, so they each need 2, so that would be 8. So I need to make 20 muffins regardless. But what I'm going to do is 2 cups of the Martha White yellow cornmeal mix and 2 cans of cream style corn. I'm just going to use this Del Monte cream style corn, and then I'm going to do 6 egg whites in there and divide that as equally as I can into 20 muffin tins, and those come out on the app to 3 points each, which I think the way that I make them for my husband and I comes out to 3 points each also, which the butternut squash soup actually comes out to 0 points. I have plugged that in, so that is a 0 point meal. And then the muffins, let's see, if I tracked it and I tracked 2 servings, it does stay at 3 points each, so it makes it 6 points for the 2 muffins. So that will be a 6-point dinner, which I think is pretty good. So let's get into this and get these in the oven, and then I will be ready to make my chocolate protein cookies. And then the only thing I have left to make is my breakfast, which I don't know if I'm going to film that. I usually don't. If y'all want me to film some of my breakfast, I can film it. I mean, I basically just make the bacon and then scramble up my eggs and put them in individual containers to take to work. So I just kind of show that at the end. But if y'all want to see me do the scrambled eggs, then I can always show that. But just for the sake of time, because these videos tend to be between 30 and 45 minutes long as it is. So yeah, so let's make some corn muffins. Okay guys, I got 1 cup of cornmeal in there. I'm going to go ahead and add the 2nd cup of cornmeal in. I'm going to add my 2 cans of cream style corn in. And then we need 6 egg whites, which, well, 6 tablespoons, which 3 tablespoons is 46 grams. So 6 of them will be 92 grams, and it's just easier to measure that than it is to actually get the tablespoon out. And then we just mix it up and we're going to put it in a muffin tin. Well, 2 muffin tins. We need 20 muffins. I don't know if you can see that, but it just makes a nice creamy mixture. These are really delicious. We love them. Okay guys, I'm just going to take some of the Pam Baker's spray and spray the muffin tins really well so they don't stick. And then I'm just going to use my ice cream scoop and try to divide them as evenly as possible into 20. Okay guys, here we go. We have 20 muffins ready to go in. I'm going to put them in at 400 degrees for 15 minutes. Okay guys, the corn muffins are done. Here are the ones for Jaylee and Terry, and then here are mine and Charlie's. They are looking perfect. I'm going to take them and divide them into the 2 separate containers. They have a separate refrigerator, so I'm just going to stick theirs out there with their meal preps, and hopefully they enjoy them. But these are delicious. If you haven't tried them, they are definitely worth the 3 points, in my opinion, especially going along with the 0-point soup. Okay guys, we are ready to make the chocolate peanut butter protein cookies. What you need for that is a scoop of the PE Science Select chocolate cupcake protein powder, a scoop of the Matrix peanut butter cookie protein powder. We're going to use 5 grams of the sugar-free Jell-O chocolate fudge pudding mix, a big thing of the Clever Girl baking powder that my granddaughter just picked up. We are going to use about 5 to 7 grams of the Hershey's Special Dark Cocoa, half a can of pumpkin, which should be about 210 grams or so. There's 425 in there. And then we'll mix all of the dry ingredients. Then we'll add the egg whites and the pumpkin. And then lastly, we will add in 14 grams of the Lily's no sugar added dark chocolate baking chips. And then we will bake for 9 minutes at 350 degrees. Okay guys, we're going in with 1 scoop of the PE Science chocolate cupcake protein powder. And then we're going in with 1 scoop of the peanut butter cookie protein powder. And then we're going to go in with, I'm going to grab my scale. And we're going to do about 5 to 7 grams of the Hershey's dark cocoa. And then we're going to go in with 5 grams of the sugar-free Jell-O pudding mix. And then we're going to do 1 big tablespoon of just baking powder. Any kind is fine. I personally prefer the Clever Girl. Actually, I'm probably just going to go ahead and use what's left in that container. Okay guys, so we've got the dry ingredients mixed well. Now we are going to add in the pumpkin.
Pumpkin pie. The pumpkin pie.
You want some? You sound like that lady on that TikTok. I want the pumpkin pie. Okay, and then we're going to go in with about 100 grams of egg whites. And then we're going to mix this up and then see how the consistency is. Okay guys, I think that we've got a really good consistency going right here. We're just going to go ahead and add in our 14 grams of dark chocolate baking chips. Alright, chocolate chips are in there. I'm going to get my baking sheet ready and get this portioned out into 12 cookies. These come out to 1 point for 2 cookies, maybe 2 points for 3 cookies. I don't know what it would be for 4 cookies. I've never been able to eat that much or wanted to, so these are actually very filling. And then we're going to spray our pan with the Baker's Joy stuff so that our cookies don't stick.
Pumpkin pie. Mix it up.
We're going to try to get 12. Okay guys, we got the 12 cookies measured out. They're going in the oven for 9 minutes. Okay guys, here are the cookies fresh out of the oven. I just want you to see how they are kind of puffed up, but they will flatten out as they cool. They would not be good to eat right now because they would probably be way too runny. I will store these in the refrigerator and then just warm them up for 30 seconds whenever I go to eat them. But these are definitely delicious. They are filling and they are super low in points. Again, it's 1 point for 2 cookies, 2 points for 3, and I don't think you could eat any more than that. It's actually very filling. So try it. Try the recipe. It's worth it, I promise. If anybody else has tried the recipe, comment down below if you're watching this video and let me know what you think. Alright everybody, y'all know that my daughter and her whole family has moved in and all their animals. I'm trying to find the animals to introduce them. It is dark in here. We have to have some light. There went a cat. I'm not putting you in it. You can relax. Frankie. Okay, this is Dolly. Dolly. Dolly's a little chihuahua, so she's here. And here's Frankie. Yeah, she loves her Mimi. She's been a good girl today. Where's Homie? Oh, Homie's on the couch. Homie's been up here on the couch all day. He's a little bitty thing. He's a good boy too. They've been good while Mimi's been meal prepping all day.
Get your sloth. Get it. Get it, Frankie.
You got your sloth? Yeah. And then there's Sam, which is Nico's brother. I don't know if I can... Is this him or is this Nico? Oh, well, that's Nico then. Where's Sam?
In the chair over there, the gray chair.
Oh, y'all look, this is Sam. He's Nico's little twin brother, almost. There's a few little differences on them. Say hi to the people, Sam. Aww. Aren't you sweet? I think he's a little sweeter than Nico. Nico's crazy. Okay guys, here is the finished butternut squash chili that we made. This is a vegetarian meal. I have 6 meals for me and Charlie down here in the front, and then I made 4 meals for Jaylee and Terry. And of course I made them corn muffins to go along with that as well, but this looks and smells delicious. Seems a little spicy like we all like it, so I'm excited to try this. I'll have to let y'all know in my, maybe down in the comments whenever I post this video. Okay guys, here is my breakfast for the week. I am missing 2 pieces of bacon because the rest of my bacon was in the freezer, so I only have 8 pieces ready, but that is okay. I'll cook 2 pieces later in the week, but I do have my eggs ready for all 5 days this week, so I am good to go. I will just have to make my turkey sandwich and throw my lunch bags together because I have my fruit prepped and everything else, and this pretty much finishes up my meal prep for the day. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this meal prep video. I hope that you got a couple of good ideas and tips, and you can kind of see what I eat through the week to help me lose weight. Again, if you are new here, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. I am glad to have you join this family, and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any time that I upload. I typically upload 3 times per week, Tuesday, Thursday, and on Sunday, and sometimes there will be an extra day thrown in there. You guys, I hope that you had a happy new year. By the way, New Year's Day is my birthday, or was my birthday. By the time y'all see this, it will be a day or 2 after New Year's. I really can't believe that it's fixing to be 2021, and I'm going to be 46 years old, so I won't get to say, hello, I'm 45 anymore. I'll have to say I'm 46, so, you know, getting on up there, closer to 50, but, you know, it's all good. It could be worse. But I love you guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.